Okay, so if you're on a vegetarian diet, you find it hard to actually get enough protein. I've been the same way. As someone who's been a vegetarian for about 2 years, like one of the most challenging thing I found, it's hard to get actual like good protein that's low in carbs. So in this video, I'm going to show you like a few high protein, low carb breakfast recipes just to get you going. I found like again more protein keeps it going throughout the day. But hey, let's do it. Let's cook. Now, for the first recipe, you're gonna go with some egg white muffins. I call these egg white muffins, but I do add eggs in this just to add some extra protein. But let's get started. So here I'm gonna add some red peppers, and keep in mind, the recipe is in the description, so any measurements you can check there. But then yeah, we're gonna add some yellow sweet onions as well. We're gonna add some red onions. Just gonna be sauteing this with some olive oil. So the olive oil I just added 2 tablespoons. So here I'm gonna add some maple syrup just to provide like some extra sweetness to this, because again you do want it to taste good so you enjoy it but not overly sweet. So just gonna saute that for about 5 minutes. Just to make sure you get like the maple syrup is kind of like evaporate and it caramelize. So next, we're gonna add our egg white mixture. So as you can see, I'm using the Costco brand, so you can use whatever egg white you have. The thing I like about this, for 100 grams, you have about 10 grams of protein. So I added 250 grams. So next, I'm just going to add my eggs just to provide some extra protein and some nice healthy fats to go with this. Again, it's all about making it filling. So here, in a muffin pan, you're just going to spray it a bit. So here I have like the reusable one. Use whatever you have. Just going to fill it up. Now keep in mind, like all like the sweet pepper and the onion, it's going to stay to the bottom. So you want to grab a spoon, and just to fill that up. And then the oven is already preheated at 350 degrees. So at 350 degrees, you're just going to put this in for 20 minutes. And then you want to check on it. So like once it's ready, you should be able just like to stick a fork into the muffins and then just check it. And if it's still not done, then you can put it back in, because I know like, again, different ovens cook at different times. But yeah, pretty straightforward. And one of my favorite things about it as well, like you can actually just put this in the refrigerator, use it for the rest of the week. Next, though, we're going to go in with a plain and simple like omelette. This is just a veggie omelette, and I use egg whites as well. So if you don't have access to egg whites, just use eggs. As you can see the trend, we're using a lot of eggs. So here I'm just gonna get my scale to measure it. The reason I like to measure, again, like I found like it's important to track your protein. So here I'm just adding seasoning. That's some smoked paprika and some garlic powder. So I'm going in with some spinach as well. So this was basically like I'd say like half a cup of spinach I just kind of like dice up, again, just to add some more protein, some more veggies to this. Again, as you can see the trend, like it's egg and just something wholesome. So here, just gonna start our omelet. So I just heated up the pan. So here I was a bit too impatient, and it always happens to me. So like the actual omelet broke and it wasn't actually properly cooked. So here's the trick I normally use for this case. You just cover it up on low heat. That way it doesn't burn to the bottom, but it's enough to actually cook the omelet. Again, like it's nothing fancy. This is strictly for meal prep. Next, I'm just sauteing half a cup of broccoli. Again, like that's, you can use whatever vegetable you like. I like adding the broccoli extra protein. So I just added some salt. And basically, I'm just cooking it just so like it cooks enough where like it's a little burnt. I mean, like a little golden on each side. But yeah, this is like a pretty straightforward. This meal is done. Let's go. Lastly, we have our vegetarian traditional breakfast. Basically, it's traditional breakfast style. Instead of like bacon, I'm using tempeh. In case you're not familiar with tempeh, tempeh is basically fermented soybeans. So it's a higher quality of protein when it comes to in terms of tofu. So similar, but it's just fermented. But again, like that's something I love. You can get this at your health stores, your the natural department of most grocery chains, especially here in Canada. But here I'm just gonna dice it up. So just gonna kind of like dice it up more like almost like bacon slices, thin slices, because you're gonna be baking this, and then you're just gonna put it on the side in a large bowl so you can add your seasoning. So here, no actual measurements. I'm just gonna add some olive oil, just enough that like when it's baking, it doesn't burn, and the seasoning sticks. So you're just gonna get whatever oil you use. I'm using virgin oil. Extra virgin olive oil. So here I'm just gonna add some onion powder, some garlic powder to this, and then just basically just shaking it. Repetitive recipe, just shaking it. That way everything coats. Then going to go in with some cumin and some Spanish sweet smoked paprika. Again, you just want to make sure like all the seasoning. I'm smoking. I think I mentioned before, like the actual measurements are in the description. Next, you're gonna add some Worcester sour sauce. Just give this more flavor. Again, similar to the tofu, you can find like tempeh is a bit bland, so you gotta season it. So again, here I'm adding some maple syrup just to add some sweetness to this that combines with the bitterness that you get from the other ingredients. So here you're just gonna spray a sheet pan. So we're gonna be baking this in the oven. So then you want to give it enough space so you can flip it. And then that's to remain the sauce. You're just gonna like just top this up. This cooks pretty fast. So I'm just gonna heat your oven at 350 degrees. Again, this is gonna be cooking for 10 minutes. So here within 5 minutes, I switched it and then I flipped it and then put it back in. So this is pretty much done nicely cooked. And then again, it's traditional breakfast. I did 2 eggs and some avocados. I didn't want to bore you to death trying to show you how to do scrambled eggs. But how you can see here, this is a full meal, one of my go-tos, all done. And that was the last one. Like, I love tempeh. It's so high in protein. But like I mentioned in the video, if you can't get your hands on some tempeh, you should be able to find it. You can find it in most natural stores or like the natural section of most grocery stores, at least in Canada, but wherever you are. Like, if you can't find that, use some tofu. Again, like pretty straightforward. It makes it less complicated and high protein, but I appreciate you watching. If you find any value from this video, please like and subscribe. And if you're looking for other high protein recipes, check these ones out. I'll see you in the next video.